You've seen me and now you can't get me out of your head. Whatever will you do? The only option for you now is complete submission. The only way you're going to feel fulfilled in your life is if you bow down to me and serve me. But before you do that, you need to know Mistress's rules for being a good submissive and slave. Let's begin. Rule number 1. You must understand and accept that I am your mistress. I am your queen. I'm your everything. I will always be above you. Rule number 2. You must always obey what Mistress says. No exceptions, no questions asked. The punishments are always worse than the tasks you're given. Rule number 3. Do not speak to your mistress unless you've been spoken to. If you speak to me with attitude or defy what I say, you will be punished immediately. So do not speak unless spoken to. Rule number 4. You are to do everything in your power to make your mistress's life better. You are to observe everything I do, the way I like my coffee, the way I like my shoes placed, even the way I like my feet kissed. Observe and do what you can to make my life better. I shouldn't have to ask you to do things. You should know it. Rule number 5. The well-being and happiness of your mistress is far more important than yours. That means you do whatever you can to make me happy, even if you end up suffering for it. You've chosen the life of slavery, so get used to it. Rule number 6. Your mistress is your everything in life. If you try and get multiple mistresses while serving me, then you will be immediately reprimanded. I will not tolerate a slave who is not faithful and devoted to his mistress. You will be found out, no matter how sneaky you think you are. Rule number 7. When not in use, you are to make yourself invisible to mistress. You should be out of my way and in the corner and waiting for my instructions. Rule number 8. If you have a question and the answer is obvious, like it can be found on my website, or it's just so fucking stupid that any moron could come up with the answer, you will be ignored. I don't have time as a busy mistress, as the queen of everything, to sit there and answer your stupid questions. Think before you speak. Rule number 9. You must always address your mistress as either mistress, miss, or ma'am. Same goes for if you have a male master. It is always sir or master. Any sign of disrespect will be punished. Ooh, number 10. One of my personal favorites. When mistress is having you repeat something, you are to speak up and say it clearly and loudly. You may be a complete loser, a waste of space, a sad, pathetic man in real life. But the one thing you are to be sure of is that you are a submissive, and that you are my submissive. So when I get you to say, I am mistress's slave, I am completely subservient to her, I don't want you to say it like a little mouse. I am mistress's slave. I want you to say it with conviction. I want you to say it like it is the most important thing in your life, and you believe it 110%. I am mistress's slave. I am completely subservient to her. I am mistress's slave. I am completely subservient to her. I am mistress's slave. I am completely subservient to her. Be strong. Be proud of the fact that you're submissive. So say it with conviction and say it with pride. If you don't, I will make you stand outside on my balcony and say it to the world very loudly. Number 11. You must kneel down every time mistress enters the room. Even if I go out for 2 seconds, you stop what you're doing, and as soon as I enter the room, you get on your knees and bow to me. It's another sign of respect, and it shows that you're aware of what your mistress is doing. Last but not least, number 12. If you fuck up, if you do something incorrectly or you disobey your mistress, doesn't matter where we are, you will be punished immediately. We could be in public, we could be in private. It doesn't matter where we are. Correction will be done instantly. Do not disobey mistress, and do not even try to get out of doing a task. Remember what I said. The punishment is far worse. These are my rules if you want to be a slave or a submissive of mine. I expect you to listen to these rules, to write them down, and to memorize them in your little pea brain until it becomes second nature. You will have them going through your head over and over and over again. Do you understand me? So go and practice the rules, go and memorize them, and let's see if you're worthy of being a slave of mine. I have very high expectations, and I only accept the best. So do you think you have what it takes to be a slave of mine? Don't go ahead of yourself. Do what you're told, and come to me and show that you've listened to my rules. And come to me on your knees, begging for my attention, showing me that you have listened to my rules.